I did. I saw it. All right, we are underway. This 2024 Gold Division Singles Finals, Lincoln City, Melissa Rushton versus Ray Lingenfelter.
Patrick Nix
We're
and
underway.
Josh Anderson both here in the booth. This is the first rack. Ray scratched on the break, ended up drawing the cue ball into that top left corner pocket. So Melissa's been trying to work it out from here. It wasn't the easiest of layouts. Everything was pocketable, but definitely not the easiest for shape. So she's got a little funny on the 5 here. She's going to try to just roll this in the side really soft and leave herself that angle on the 7. Oh, she might be having a 7-9 carom here. It's on.
Yeah, I think that's really the only option to go for at this point. I don't see a good safety opportunity, and I think she is. There she goes. 7-9 right to the hole.
Great shot. Great shot.
Yeah, very smooth, easy first win. So scratch on the break from Ray cost him rack 1. And now Melissa with the break.
So we had ourselves muted at the beginning, Patrick,
Yeah,
so I'm not
know.
sure how much they heard, but...
Yeah, they didn't hear the first part because we had the mute button on, but that's all right.
So gold finals here. Ray has the hot seat. So Melissa will have to win this. She'll have to beat him twice, 2 sets. If he wins the first set, it's over. They played for the hot seat, and it was a hill match that Ray ended up winning. So this is probably going to be a really good match here. Like Patrick said, he scratched on that first break, and she worked the table out pretty good. So now this is going to be her first break. I see in the chat we have Ramil and Chris already jumped in. Great tournament, Chris. Caught the tail end of it, commentating with Zach, and you had a really good tournament. Just walking around, I've seen a few of your matches, and another good showing. It's pretty impressive to win 8-ball this year and then come back and have such a strong showing in 9-ball. So congrats there. So it looks like she can see the 1. Can she pocket it though?
That's the question.
Right.
I think only Melissa would know the answer because you have to be. It's one of those where you have to get down on your knees and squint and see. And it looks like, if not, she's got the safety. She has. Yep, safety is there. Don't think she gave up the window, but it is possible that there's a window there between the 3-5, get to the 1.
And even if she had an opportunity to make the 1, she may have still played safe anyways because there's not really any shape opportunity for the 3-ball without having to have a combo or something like that. And she would have been cutting the 1 thin, so she probably would have had a little bit longer shot. So probably a smart play there.
I tell you, I like Ray coming in here with the vest and the button up. He's dressed for success, and success he has had so far, going undefeated. Melissa needs to win 2 straight sets, race to 7, to take home the first place prize. And she's having a heck of an event. Melissa Rushton coming off of the Scotch Doubles Elite Division Championship. So her and Clay Belvoir won first place in Scotch Doubles Elite. And now here she is in the singles, the very next event.
Yep.
And I wonder if she can pull off a doubles, singles, and teams trifecta, right? Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really rooting for that because I'm in the same division as her team.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. But it would be really cool. I would not hate to see that at all.
I wonder if any player has actually done that because that's a lot of hardware for one trip to the coast.
Yeah. And you know what? The first place you got to look is Stan.
Yeah.
Because you know he's won a lot of Scotch doubles and lots of singles here. So,
and he's been here for a lot of years.
Yeah.
So if there is somebody that has done it, it's probably Stan.
Yeah. So she's got a pretty good table here.
That was a really nice shot on the 3-ball to get out and get really good and flat on this 4-ball to draw back. She's looking really in stroke right now. Very smooth.
It looks like somebody was saying in the chat that Ray always dresses for success. You know, when you're playing pool, aside from everything else in life, you know, confidence plays a big part in pool.
Yeah.
We all know that. Dressing nice makes you feel good, builds your confidence, and it all translates across. So what he's doing is definitely probably having a little bit to do with his success too when it comes to all of that. It all ties in.
Yeah, it's mental for sure.
Mental, yeah. Maybe that's what my problem is. Maybe I need to start dressing for success.
Okay, she got a little bit far on this. She tried to hold that cue ball for the 7, and I understand why. You know, going to the rail and back out was sketchy because the side pocket would have been right close by. So she tried to hold, and now she's got a back cut angle. Then she's going to come running into the 9-ball. And she's overcut it. You know, it's kind of funny how if the 9-ball is not even there, you're making that ball a lot, right? But because the 9 is in your vision and you're trying to predict how it's going to bounce off of it and what the reaction is going to be, and there's so much more complexity to your leave, it takes some of that focus and sharpness off of the actual shot of pocketing the ball.
You know how many times, just think about it. How many times has the 9 sat in a pocket after the break, and you watch good players create error after error? Or even with the 8-ball, playing 8-ball, the 8-ball sits in a pocket, and next thing you know, they're missing shots they don't normally miss because they're so afraid because that's in their mind the whole time.
Yeah, it's true.
A couple good strokes here from Ray, and he's going to get his first game of the match and tie this up 1-1.
Yeah, and Melissa missed an opportunity to have a very effective start, you know, psychologically, when you can start a match with running out your opponent's scratch on break and then breaking and running your rack, immediately going up 2-0. It puts that immediate psychological impact.
Yeah.
But because of that one mistake, now it's 1-1 and there's no impact at all. It's just like it never happened, and it's like we're in a brand new match, you know. But
and it's his break too.
Yes,
he's coming in
and
with
it's
the
his break. So psychologically, that's huge to not run out that rack. I think anyway. I know how I feel when I scratch on break in rack 1 and they run it out and then they break and run on me, and I said I made one mistake and I'm down 2-0.
Yeah,
and it feels terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. I always do this whole little so that's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, this 1-ball tied up to the cue ball. This is tricky because you can't really slide or, you know, thin it and go anywhere. You got to kick at this, right? Don't you?
I think you got to kick off this side rail, send the 1 back to the other side rail, try to hold behind that 7. Looks like he's going to jack up and try to send the 1 up table. Maybe, I don't know though, does he jack up and clip the 7 and go towards that corner pocket if he hits it smooth? If he's going to jack up or do something like that, I'd almost like coming at it from the other side, like you're playing the cue ball towards the side rail, so that you can get the cue ball to come off the side rail back down towards that end rail by the 2. But yeah, I think you're right, Patrick. I think kicking at this would be the best option.
Well,
off
that was
7.
That was an easy call for the ref to make. Aaron Moss over there to ref that one. He's like, oh, good. I'm glad I didn't have to call. Because I think I might have called a foul on that. I'm being honest with you, because I think that cue ball pushed through before it came back, and I would assume that that's a double hit. But I think Aaron's probably glad that that scratched,
Yeah.
and he didn't have to actually tell him.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be that guy.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
all right.
not his fault that it's a foul.
But that's one of the reasons I didn't like him jacking up going that direction, because if he gets the spin that he's trying to get, it's going to scratch pretty much every time. So
yeah,
a little unfortunate there that he got that off the break and had a tough start. So Melissa again has ball in hand. Not an easy table. That 4-9 is in a funny spot.
I like how Melissa is always so casual when she's walking around the table, almost like she's strolling through the park on a sunny afternoon,
So it's
not
funny,
a care in the world.
It's funny you say that, because Zach Ross and I were commentating the last match she had to get to this finals match. And I told Zach, I said, look how lackadaisical she is. She's just strolling around the table. And I said, that's probably really helps her mental side of the game too. Just stay composed and not like rush anything and not kind of get worked up about anything. She just stays that same methodical, slow, lackadaisical, stroll around the table, and it helps.
She's pretty. Oh, there we go.
What a great shot.
Perfect breakout on the 4-ball. Yeah, she's chill, but she will show emotion when she messes up.
Yeah.
She's not immune to that. We will see the head thrown back and that kind of stuff. But for the most part, she's pretty chill.
A little tough stretch here. I'll play this to the side pocket. Yeah, perfect on it.
Oh man, even the nice little tiny angle that kind of helps get you closer to the 7 here. Too much angle, no good. Too much angle the other way is bad, obviously. It was a kind of a tight place to be to get perfect on the 5, and that position made it really easy. Maybe I underestimated the angle a little bit, because I thought the cue ball was kind of going to get closer to the 7. So
yeah, she's going to need to go back and forth here. Definitely doesn't want to try to soft roll it or hold shape.
Yeah,
just a little bit of center high, maybe a little high left, just to keep it straight and close for the 8.
This is the shot. The 9 ball is huge. It's about the size of a basketball right now, and this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Just barely, I think.
Yeah, just enough.
Yeah.
And, that angle, she can just play this center ball, center high. She can, she doesn't have to manipulate the cue ball a whole lot. That 9's in a really good spot. And it's got the natural angle. It's going to come out anyway, so she'll be able to have an easy shot with the 9 ball. So she can focus on the make here.
Yep.
Pretty easy.
I like it.
Looking good. That one mistake on the 7 in the last rack, and or else we'd be looking at 3-0 to start the first set.
Yeah, we've had one mistake by Ray in rack 1, which was the scratch on break.
Missed it.
And there's the look. Soon. There's the look to the sky and frustration that I was referring to. That's man, that one hurts. She did all the hard work to get to that. And
now you got to go move that rack.
Complete giveaway. I don't like that either. My vision doesn't look right to me. Distracting.
So, yeah.
Ray doesn't care.
Yeah, I'm just
gonna he does care. Maybe he should have moved the rack because we had 2 misses on the 9 ball. So Melissa, gives up a free pass and gets one of her own right back. So Ray said, I don't want it. You can have it back. And she's not missing this one.
Yeah, that's in my head. Melissa takes a 2-1 lead here and the break, so that's going to be a big one. Yeah, that gets in my head sometimes with the rack or chalk or anything that's like near the pocket I'm shooting at, and it's with any ball. And you'll see me when I'm playing, if there's a chalk that's in my line of sight or whatever, I have my own chalk, but I'm always moving chalks around when my opponents use the chalk. I don't ever like it in my line of sight. And, it stems back to when I first started. It's like learning how to walk as a baby, I guess. When I first started playing pool, I was playing at a VFW. There was an older guy, been playing pool forever, and he was telling me about moving the chalk away from the pocket. And he told me one day, he said, if you watch when there's something in someone's line of sight, he's like, you watch how it affects them.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, somebody that makes the ball center pocket, they might still make it, but all of a sudden they're not making it center pocket. It's off center or whatever. He goes, people compensate without thought. It's stuck in my head, and I cannot shoot when there's something in my line of sight now.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I can, but I don't. I typically will. Okay, let me point it this way. If I notice it, then I'll move it. If it's there and I'm not even noticing it, then I won't bother, because obviously I didn't notice it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It won't affect me. But in this environment, you have to be somewhat immune to all distraction.
Yeah.
And just play the game within the rails.
Yeah, Ramil in the chat talking about the commentators' jinx. I can tell you that in the last match, Ramil was also watching, and there was some discussion between Zach and I about commentators' curses and things like that, and I believe it can be a thing sometimes. At least my ego says that. But just to let you know, Ramil, she still ended up winning that game, so that's not our fault on that one.
Yeah. So she pushed out, and now is the 2-ball frozen to the rail? We don't know. But this was a push out from Melissa, and this is actually not easy. Even if it's not froze to the rail, it's not an easy place to get that cue ball out and play safe. It's not. You can't really bank from there because it's on the rail. I'm giving this back, honestly. I think I'm giving this back.
Yeah, I'd have to look at the angle. If I can clip this bottom edge of the one with a bunch of left English, and
so he just fired at it.
Yeah.
And maybe he was thinking he was going to be able to bank that, but there was no possible way that banks at that angle. Well, at least not to the corner. It might go somewhere else on the table, but I really thought about giving that back.
Yeah.
It's rare that you give it back when you can see the full ball, but
yeah, that's what I was saying. The only thing I would even look at is if I can spin off the bottom side of that 2-ball and be able to 3 rails back up table, get cover from the 4-5. But if I don't feel like I can do that, then I'm giving that one back, because
more than likely it's going to end in giving your opponent a good opportunity. And it did.
Yeah. Play this 2 rails up, back out. She's going to have an angle on the 4-ball. That's one of those shots where I find that, I don't know, maybe I use more English than most, but I would have loaded up with a little bit more inside English on that, just to bring it more towards the left side of that table there. But she's in a good spot. I've seen her shoot a lot of these here, so she just got to make sure and hit this good and clean, and make sure she develops shape for the 5. Yeah, she hit that perfect. So Ray, made a little bit of a mistake there trying to fire at that. I think you're right. I think he was trying to bank that. He might have been trying to load up with English or something to bank that ball. It was definitely a tough bank. So are you playing teams here, or are you just working the booth?
I'm working the booth for teams. I did Scotch and singles, but I'm just going to be a sub. If somebody gets their eye poked out or something, then they'll pull me in.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'll be cheering from the sidelines for teams this year.
Nice. She left herself a little funny on the 7 here. Yeah, she
overcut. It. Yeah, the EvoSports team this year is going to be Justin Lee, Colin Sue, and Shu-Cheng Chow.
Wow.
So,
I played Shu-Cheng last night. Hitting the balls. He's hitting the balls really good. I wish I could say I beat him, but I didn't. And Colin obviously is hitting the balls good too. Is he still in? Or
Colin got fourth
nice.
in silver 1. And then Justin, and he did not play singles. Justin got 4th in Scotch with him and Shu-Cheng. They got 4th in Elite Scotch. So they both have done very well in this event so far.
That's awesome.
And so I think it's, hopefully if they can keep playing the way that they have been, and I'll just take care of everything else and say, you guys focus on the pool and win your games, and I'll take care of all the technology
All
over
the
here.
rest.
It's not. There's not really much to do, as you can see. We're just basically.
Yeah, but are you going to be able to have some commentators, or are all the commentators playing?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a good point. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, there'll be lots of time between matches and stuff too. So I know that,
I
like,
will.
I'm playing teams, but when there's time in between, I can probably help, and I'm sure everybody else can too.
Sure.
Fun to commentate some of
If
these.
there's opportunity, I think that there'll be enough stagger to get people at certain times. I will say that there will be many streams without commentary, but it's certainly better than not having any record at all of your match.
Yeah, for sure. I actually played one of my singles matches. I played, I don't remember what morning it was, but I played Kevin Fong on one of these. There was no commentating, but it was a really good match between him and I, and it's fun to be able to go back and watch your matches and just see, how you play, watch the mistakes.
Uh-oh. It's got a little too much heat on it. Okay. So Melissa, not happy about this one. And do you break out the jump cue and try to land on top of the 2-ball? Or do you kick this?
I think you got to kick this.
I do too.
I think
the 3 is too far away because you're already landing on top of that's all. There's nowhere to land.
Yeah.
She's missed it and given up ball in hand. Now that it's not really a wide open layout because of where the 6 lays.
Yeah, so I mean, with considering where the 6 is, and there's not really any breakout opportunity for the 6 ball and 8 ball. I mean, you almost have to play to a safety here. Does the 6 even go in this bottom left?
It goes in the bottom right. If you put the cue ball right here, you can cut that 6 ball in. You want to be kind of close because it's going to be a difficult cut. But if you can get somewhere right there, and that 5 ball is in a position to maybe get you to there. So I do think it's possible. I don't like my color, my pen color, so I'm going to change that. Hold on 1 second after this shot. Get us refreshed here. See what pen color. I got a better pen color now, so that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, the nice thing about trying to play shape down there for the 6, where you're saying is if you don't get it just right, you're going to be in a position to play a safety if you need to for that 6 ball. He's in a good spot here.
Now, I don't think that he can. Unless he gets maybe like right down in here. I don't. Is that what he's looking for?
Well, he looked from the other side before he even started his run here. So he might be looking at that.
But I think he actually has to be like down in here. That's really, I think you're just going to have to try to roll the dice and run into this.
Yeah.
Yep, roll the dice and he's.
Wow, if he would have hit the 8 first, he'd have been great.
Oh, my God. Or if he would have hit the 6 a little fuller, that would have been really cool, too. So it would have moved it right over.
Yeah, it was a good swing there. A little unfortunate considering where those balls were that's the result of it, going in between there and not. Safe. Did not get it, though. Didn't leave her much of a shot, though.
No, I wonder if she might actually even have to swing at the 9 ball just because of how difficult the safety would be, or any other offensive shot besides the 9 is also very difficult.
Yeah, like a crossbank or something.
Yeah, it's there, right? You could crossbank it either to the corner or side, but aren't those just as difficult as going for the 9? Maybe even more.
Yeah, and
then you got to get position on the 7 if you do that. If you get the 9, you don't have to worry about position. You just drill it. But she did that, and she tried to get down behind the 8. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Have it as a 2-way.
She overhit it, but that was the right shot probably, considering.
Ramil says 6-9 combo APA style.
Fire at it, let it ride.
Ride the cheese. Chris Robbins, eye poked out, talk about commentator curse. Yeah, no, hopefully nobody gets their eye poked out. I'm not wishing that. I honestly would love to see the team play as is, and I think it's a very good team.
It's a little 2-rail behind the 7 here.
Uh-huh.
With your cue ball.
Should be pretty good. Let's see. Let me get to the...
Didn't even realize you moved that mouse over here.
Yeah, so that way, I think I got you a red pen too, so if you wanted to use it.
Do we? Oh, yeah. In the cue ball and just hit it right back here.
Yeah.
Do you have a different mouse as well?
No. Oh, and it leaked out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Those are so delicate too, especially if you try to put a little bit of spin on it. Sometimes that spin grabs off the rail a little more than you think it's going to, and it doesn't take much to leak out like it has. So
yeah, that's one of those where sometimes you just got to make a decision. Am I playing this with the angle and speed, or am I playing this with English? Because if I try to do both, I'm going to have a hard time controlling it.
Right.
Did you play this in the side? Looks like that's what he might be shooting at. It's hard to tell from this angle.
No.
Yeah.
No, you don't play that.
You're right.
You can't play that in the side. There's absolutely no reason to.
When I seen him stroking at it from here, I thought, wow, he's playing in the side. Well, I don't have my glasses on either.
Yeah, maybe you should put your glasses on there, Josh.
Oh, yeah, it looks funny.
We need a bigger screen for you.
I'll tell you what's funny is I usually use like a TV or something when I'm commentating these things.
Do you? Like a big monitor? Like a really big...
I use my laptop that I stay really close to. Or if I want to sit comfortably, then I have like a 37-inch or something like that I put it on, because I have bad
You just
eyes.
gave me an idea. What if we had a giant... Oh, wow.
A little bit of love there.
She's got
the right angle too.
A slight angle. I would actually rather be underneath it, to be honest, because you don't have to force it as much. You can float it up table, but
so now are you playing this just to come one rail this way? Like this?
No.
Or are you playing this with some draw and coming to the short side of the 9?
No, I'm playing top inside, and I'm coming 3 rails to the 9, and that she's going 1 rail up and in with inside. It looked like it was straight enough to where the top was the.
See, I think that I would have always played that with low left and brought it this way.
Okay.
To this rail.
Oh, I see.
Hit this rail here, or low right, technically, from over there.
I didn't know that there was a.
Yeah, because she was going to be with that angle to pocket that. She was going to be hitting that 8 fairly full, that makes that inside 2 to 3 rail shot a little more difficult. So I would have spun to the short side with low outside, but you know, it's what everybody's comfortable with.
3-2. We're well underway. All right. So, yeah, you gave me a good idea about the monitor thing. Maybe I could next year have maybe a mounted monitor for commentators that's a little bit larger, so we can see it on a big screen.
So I'll tell you,
there's not a lot of room in here.
I may or may not have an addiction to pool. So I can tell you, my daughter was sitting with me once when I was commentating a match. I was actually commentating one of the Don Weir Memorial matches.
Okay.
And I was sitting at our dining room table, and I had a TV sitting on the table that I was looking at to commentate the match. I had my laptop streaming another live stream match that was going on in Yakima.
Yeah.
And then I had my phone streaming a match that was going on at Patty's in Coeur d'Alene.
Okay.
And then I had my work phone sitting in front of me with the chat. for the Evo stream. And my daughter comes in and she was like, and you say we're bad with our phones and stuff. And I was like, she's 11.
That's good.
I was like, oh, she got me.
She got you big time.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So nice break from Melissa. And watch out, 9-ball. Got to avoid the 9. She bumped it a little bit. That slowed down the cue ball. So that's going to create a little more angle than she wanted on this 2. Can't really go back and forth because of the 8-ball is there. So you almost have to kind of try to hold this. Oh, there she goes to the other side of the 3. But this is kind of, well, you know, isn't that funny how just that little nudge on the 9 made it so she got more angle on the 2, and now she's a little further, on the other side of the 3. It's funny how those little tiny, minute things over a series of 2 or 3 shots, they start to amplify.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, the last match she had, and she caught me in the hallway and we were talking a little bit about it. She was very quick to play safeties when she just got a little out of line or had kind of a tough shot.
Right.
But she got in stroke and she was feeling better and she slowed down on some of the safeties. And she told me, she's like, some of them just didn't have the best angle or didn't have whatever. And the reward, she didn't feel the reward was there, you know. So, but if she feels the reward's there, she's going for it. That was a great shot.
Beautiful cut on the 5. That was the moneymaker there.
Yes. Move the rack. So now, a little stop shot on the 6.
Josh can't even watch this with the rack on the table.
So stressful.
What about leaving it on the table? How does that make you? Does that drive you nuts too?
I can tell you, and I don't know if it's just a weird mindset or what it is, but when I'm playing tournaments, I set it up on the light.
Mm-hmm.
I move it over to the tables we're sitting on. If I can't sit it on the light, I get it off the table completely. If I'm playing money matches, if I'm playing gambling somebody for money, I don't mind it. I don't know why. I've even been that guy that just leaves it on the table and run out, and then I'll move it before I shoot the 9 or shoot a ball across it. But if it's a tournament, I have to get it off the table right away, and I have to get it out of the way, and I don't know why.
That's a bizarre.
It's a very weird thing.
You would think it would be the same for no matter when you were playing, but okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's a care thing. When I'm gambling, I'm having fun no matter what I'm gambling or who I'm gambling, and I don't ever really feel pressure. I used to play poker full time, so the gambling side of things is kind of in my blood. I have fun, and it's not as serious or as intense for me. Like a lot of other people when they're gambling for money, no matter what the stakes, or if they're high stakes, they get stressed out or whatever. I don't. I don't.
That's right. But tournaments mean more than money. It's more the prestige and the honor of winning that trophy or whatever.
I don't even care what the payouts are in tournaments.
Yeah.
I've heard people complain about payouts in different tournaments here and there, and yeah, I want the side benefit and the bonus of having the extra money, but honestly, I play to win, and I don't care what it is. I even had a tournament back home in Yakima. We have this King of the Valley tournament that Rich Fear had put on, and wanted all the best players in the area to play in it, and it was money involved, and there's paid like $1,500 to first and whatever to second.
Mm-hmm.
And he also is the first one he's ever ran, and he has this big plaque that says King of the Valley, for our whole area. And I played a friend of mine in the finals, and as soon as it got down to him and I, he looks at me and he was like, well, what do you want to do? Like chop it or whatever. And he points at the trophy and he says, do you want that? I said, no. He goes, well, I do. I said, what about the money? He goes, I don't care about the money. I said, neither do I. And he's like, well, what are we doing? I said, I want to win. I want to win. You can have the trophy. I just want to win. That's all I'm here for.
Right. You're there for the competition.
I'm there for the competition.
Beating the entire field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, now the money's great. That would be great.
Yeah.
I lost, so that sucks. So he got the money and the trophy. But,
Right.
I want to win. I want to have that.
Okay, so Ray with a missed shot on the 1 ball after the break opens up the table for Melissa, and she's going to get stuck on the back of the 5, and there's the look of despair that I was talking about. That's very common when she's missed her position or missed a shot. Kind of gives that head thrown back, and But she seems to get over it pretty quickly. You know, she doesn't seem to get riled up about stuff. You won't see her pace change. You won't see her speed up or hit harder or get, you know, go on tilt. She just doesn't do that like a lot of players, and I think that's just the experience.
Yeah, she probably has that instant moment of frustration. You know, the head, you know, she gets frustrated. She looks away. She kind of, whatever, and then she lets it go and moves on.
It's like a process, a grieving process that you have to go through those steps, you know, whatever. You get over it. So we're going to have to see a 4-7 combo after the 3. She didn't leave Ray much of an angle, so he might have enough to push forward with top and bring that cue ball out 2 rails to just past the spot, if possible. I think he can with this angle. Should be able to. He's using draw, though, so maybe it's straighter than I think. Oh, I see. Just coming off that bottom rail. That was very pretty.
Yeah.
I like that shot.
Yeah, he just wants to make sure and hit this clean and control the 4. It was pretty straight, so it wasn't going to move a whole lot. So now, I was going to say, he wants to come around and look and see where he wants for the 5, because he doesn't want to come. He's coming across his line, so he's got to be really careful here. Pretty good right there.
Not bad. Should be able to draw this back for just a little bit. Hold for the 8 in the same pocket.
Yeah.
And he's rattled it.
Yeah.
And very fortunate roll.
Yeah, he put a little bit of a punch stroke on that, and he's been just doing like a smooth stroke on the rest of those balls he just shot. So,
oh man, I got to tell you, I don't like this at all because, you know, if you jump, you're probably going to pop the cue ball off the table. You can't kick side rail, you know, because it's too far up from the pocket. I think the only real option is, I know it sounds nuts, but I think the only option is to come in this way. I mean, what do you think, Josh? I mean, how else do you get to this 5 and have it a high percentage? You have to make the ball too, because just a good hit's not going to really do you much when there's nothing on the table to get in trouble with. The jump shot is going to be very hard to get this cue ball to stay on the table, and I apologize, we're not going to be able to see this. And both balls off the table, so yeah, that's why I favored that long kick. I know it was kind of tough because you had to get inside the 8 ball to make that work, but I think honestly that was the only way to go. Ray got really fortunate with how that kind of ended up.
Yeah.
On that missed shot. So
do a little bit of a one pocket 3-railer. Come this way at it.
Yeah, but you're not going to pocket it, though.
No, you're clipping it. Send it over here and bring the cue ball up table.
Yeah. And then,
I mean, I don't think you really have a good option either way.
Yeah, I think if you have the possibility of kicking to make it, you have to choose that kick because just getting a good hit probably is not going to work out for you.
Yeah, and I was looking at kick and save because, I mean, kicking down off this end rail, back up past the 8, I don't know if you can even manipulate the angle to pocket the 5 either. It's going to hit that side rail, and you're going to end up clipping the right side of that 5.
But Ramil says 2-rail kick. He liked the 2-rail kick.
So Ramil, when you're talking 2-rail kick, were you
2-rail kick to make it?
Like this?
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking about. 2-rail kick to make it.
Yeah, that's one I was looking at first, but I think that 9 ball got super big kicking 2 rails at it too. But, you know, we're past that, unfortunately. So it's 4-3. Melissa's break.
It was a good try on the jump, but the difficulty of getting over that ball and getting it to land and settle after landing. And then there's a scratch on the break. So Melissa's just gotten a couple of, you know, really unfortunate situations here. I'm not saying that was a bad roll. That cue ball directly went into the side. It's not like an unlucky kick to the corner. That was all her, you know. But I'm just saying, though, that it's like sometimes you get those couple of things and it just swings it, you know.
whole momentum just shifts. Sometimes you can feel it. So I can tell you we have 42 people watching the stream right now. This is the gold finals. So if you're out there listening, share it everywhere you can. Make sure that as many people can see this as possible. I can tell you as a spectator when I'm at home watching a lot of these, I definitely want to be able to watch the finals, especially. So if you can share it for the people that aren't realizing it's on, do so, please.
Thank you very much. Yeah, always good to share. Sharing is caring. And, I mean, who wouldn't want to watch this? This is a great gold finals here.
That was a great stroke. I would have probably came off the end rail and went back up table between the 7-9, but his shot right there was pretty clean. Now, do you stroke this 3 rails around for the 4, or do you just come off a little bit and leave yourself a longer shot?
There were 3 rails with a little extra right to make sure you avoid that 7 ball, but he's just going to go the simple route. But you know what? This is probably okay too. The reason that I would want to get closer to the 4 is because the 5 is on the rail, and I want to make sure that I'm going to be in a position to get 5. But this is good because he's straight on the 4, so even a stop shot is okay right here, right? I like what Ray did there because he minimized the potential for an error, right? Keeping it simple, stupid, right? The KISS method. Sometimes we try to overthink these things. And
so, he's looking at drawing back and playing the cut on the 6 on the side. I don't hate it. Going to what you're saying about keeping it simple, I probably play this with some high right, go down table off the end rail, but I want to get to that right side of the table.
One thing about draw is it can force the rattle.
Oh, a lot of body movement there.
Yeah.
He pushed up into that.
And he got another fortunate roll. So, when it starts swinging one way, it's funny how the rolls even out, but not necessarily in a race to 7. They might even out in a race to 50, right, where you get the same amount. But in a race 7, it can kind of go all one way sometimes. I'm not saying that Ray's getting all the rolls or anything, but certainly gotten a couple of big ones here.
She might need to play this with some Czech English she cut the edge of it.
Yep, good hit.
Oh, no way.
And there's another. And Melissa's like, okay, come on now. That's enough, pool gods.
Right.
What did I do? What did I do to deserve that? It was a good hit, and a very unfortunate second hit on the 5, which caused the scratch.
Yeah, that was a tight angle around that 6 ball to be able to get the hit on the 5. So it was a good shot just getting that hit. Just a little unfortunate. I like what Ray does right here, where he's taking his time and actually looking and visualizing his shape. So he knows correct side of the ball. He knows where he wants to get to. And he's not just taking it for granted, In these pressure situations, taking things for granted can really get you out of line a little bit and then start causing these easy outs to be difficult. Should be pretty good here. Pretty good shot. Angle here on the 6 to be able to get in line for the 7. He doesn't want to be on the bottom side of the 7 here. Won't hurt him too much, but he'll have to move the cue ball up table like this. You want to roll forward a little bit more. He could draw back, take the longer shot on the 9, or he can send the cue ball up table and come back down for the 9 ball, which is probably what he's going to do. He went and looked at where he wanted to get. He knew he needed to be a little further to be on the other side of that 7, or at least straight on the 7. He just underhit the 6.
Yeah, and being that it is a fairly slight angle, he's going to have to put a little bit of a stroke into it. No, he's not. Okay, so he's taking medicine, right?
Yep.
He says, okay, how hard is a 9 ball from there? I can make that 9 ball from there. I'm going to take the guarantee of this shot, right? Again, keeping it simple.
Better the devil you know than the devil you don't.
Yeah, but that's the devil that he does know, because he's hit a couple of those now just off the mark. So those are ones that you have to cinch when you're in a finals, especially against a player like Melissa RUSHTON. You've got to cinch those down. He does not want this to go to a second set. I can tell you that.
Yeah. And, 4-4 versus 5-3 is big in a race to 7. Big for both players, big for their mindset, too. Now, Ray has the opportunity to have the break here. So he's definitely going to need a good break with a good opening shot to be able to stay positive in this set right now. Doesn't surprise me, though, that the match is pretty close.
And I'm going to take this moment while they're racking to say a shout out to the sponsors for the WBCA this year: Diamond Billiard Products, Joe's Glass, Players Sports Bar and Grill, The Trough, Rose City Billiards, Chinook Winds Casino and Resort, Fort Worth Billiards Superstore, Ox Billiards, Players Club Limited, and Sandy's Trophies. Thank you all for sponsoring this event. It means a lot, and it really makes things possible, like what we're doing here, streaming 6 tables. That's kind of what pays for these types of things, to be able to do this, and puts money into the players' pockets in the form of added money.
Yeah, pretty awesome. This is a great event. I've played it. How long have you been coming here, Patrick?
Oh, my first Lincoln City event was 2013.
Back in the Open, the Bs, the Open A's,
Yeah,
Masters, Grandmasters.
I came in as an A, and my Fargo was a 525-ish, something like that, and at the time, but it didn't have hardly any robustness. But they weren't using the Fargo system. But I think that the league operator, it was just A or B. It wasn't a master, or anywhere close to that. And he just watched me play, and he said, "Yeah, you'll be an A." Okay.
Yeah.
And I came from Texas, where in Texas they did not use the A and B system. There was Open, Masters, and Grandmasters.
Oh.
So Open was anybody that was not a Master or Grandmaster, was just, so A and B didn't matter.
Yeah.
So you might have played somebody who was, if there was Fargo back then, they might have been a 600, they might have been 300, you know what I mean? And they were all in that same division. That's the way they did it in Texas before Fargo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. I 100% for that. Yeah. I love the bigger fields.
It was big fields.
Yeah.
The Texas Open, the Texas BCA state was huge. Second to Lincoln City in BCA regional size. Lincoln City is the biggest.
Yeah.
WBCA is the biggest BCA regional event out there, and Texas is the second. But Texas is one state. We have 4 states.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's like I was talking to Damian Pompanic 3-4 years ago about Vegas, and he was telling me about like one of the tournaments he took second in or whatever down there, and how big the field was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 800 and some players, 1,300 and some players, and it's like,
it's huge.
Man, you win one of those, or you make it to the final 12 or whatever. That's doing something,
Mm-hmm.
So Melissa's in the middle of a really, really good run here.
Yep.
She's been taking her time like she does, and she's been putting a good stroke on every ball here. So now, does she have the angle to just roll forward here? She came up short.
Oh, she came up well short. Okay. I don't know if she kind of rushed that one a little bit.
Now, does she play a safety here?
I think so. It's very unfortunate that she got this leave, because that was a very basic out to just roll forward another foot, and she's golden with the 8-ball hanging by the side, Man,
she looks to be cutting this ball.
I want to pocket this ball. I really do, Josh. I want to put this ball in the hole.
Absolutely.
Because, and she did. Because
she's going to get straight on the 8, too.
You've worked so hard to get to that, and you don't want to just give it up with a safety that might not work, because it wasn't really that easy to play safe right there.
Yeah.
So,
like I've said before, it's I'm an aggressive player, so I see somebody doing something like that, it's like, oh, they're after my heart, Patrick.
Well, Oh, it's going to draw back too far. No, she's
No,
good.
she's good.
This is very good. Nice recovery from Melissa on that 6 ball.
Yeah, it was a good shot because she could have got really funny on
And
the
she is on the hill.
Hill in the first set. So she's trying to push this to a second set, and Ray's trying to get his mind right so that he can try to mount a comeback here because he doesn't want to have to go to a second set.
Right.
But, how often do you see this, though? I mean, how many times have you seen somebody come from the B side and win the first set, and then the person that had the hot seat gets in stroke because they're not coming off of a match, they're not coming off of a win, they've been waiting, and then they get in stroke, and then they end up winning the second set?
I would say, and I don't know the statistics on this or the odds, or the history, but I would say, if I was to guess, the person that comes up from the B side and wins the first set is the heavy favorite to win the second set also.
Yes.
I would think. Maybe not heavy favorite, maybe 60-40 on the second set. Because they've one thing is they're more in stroke because they've played more matches up to that match, and the second reason would be because they've got that confidence from winning that first set. They know they can do it.
So this is where you and I will differ, but I would say that it's reverse.
Melina and them are coming over for dinner.
I actually think that the person that has the hot seat wins that second set more than the B-side player. I would say it's probably like 60-40, 70-30 that the hot seat person wins the second set.
Really?
Yeah.
It would be great to have those stats.
Yep. I've seen it a ton. I would love to see it. I mean.
And Melissa looking for a break and run.
See it?
She's looking. Yeah, she can see this. She can see it to the side pocket. So it's going to be a thin cut to the side. If she completes this break and run, that's going to be pretty impressive. And I'm going to tell you, I would absolutely bet on Melissa to win the second set if I was betting money on it.
I wouldn't bet against you. She's playing really, really well now. She's playing good. And Ray's not playing bad. It's just funny how a few rolls go in one way, and then a few rolls start going back the other way, and then how a player responds to that, makes a couple of those little mistakes they might not have been making earlier.
Okay, so she kind of got 50-yard line between the side or the corner for that 5 ball, and she's close to the rail. This is her most difficult shot of this rack.
I'm playing this to the side pocket, and I'm probably cutting it with some left-hand English, and she's jacking up here.
That was a beautiful shot. I mean, absolutely perfect. Jacked up off the rail, draws off the rail to that perfect position on the 8, and absolutely nails the shot dead center of the side. That's a very confident stroke. You see that staying down through the stroke. She's feeling good. Okay, I'm going to go in there real quick before they turn off the stream.
So Melissa RUSHTON comes back from the B side and wins the first set against Ray LINGENFELTER. And looks like we're going to be going to a second set, so they're going to be running it back, folks. It's going to happen pretty quick, so stay tuned. Stay on the EvoSports YouTube page. Take a look. Wait for that to come up. Jump back on it. Should be a good set. Melissa's in stroke right now, but Ray has what it takes to be able to win as well. He won the hot seat match. He came through this tournament from the A side. And he's going to have to get it together and try to get this second set. So
yeah, we're going to have a player break, and after that player break, we're going to get this going for the final.
Final, right?
All right.
Good.
So we'll be right back.
So we might be able to find an answer to that 60-40, 70-30, B side, A side.
Let's leave it up to the chat, guys. What do you guys think in the chat? Who thinks that the hot seat winner has the advantage after the B side person wins the first set in a final? The second set of the final, who has the advantage? Would it be the person who came up from the B side and just won the first set, or would it be the person who had won the hot seat? I'm curious what the chat thinks.
Yep,
we'll be back in
me too.
just a couple of minutes after the break, but put your answers in. We're curious. We'll take a poll. Okay, second set of the finals. Let's get this going. You like that? Got a little. The final is on at Lincoln City 2024 WBCA 9-ball Gold Division Championships. Melissa Rushton, Ray Kleinfelter, and Ray wins the leg. And here we go. We're off and running. Welcome. Thought I'd add a little bit of dramatic effect there.
Right.
Do you like that?
I do like it. I wish I knew what those buttons were. I'd start pushing all of them.
Don't touch the buttons if you don't know what they do.
I know Zach was hitting a button earlier, and I was like,
you might blow somebody up.
What those buttons are. They're so pretty.
There's an eject button in there, so you do want to make sure you don't hit that, right?
Yeah. Well,
that's for me.
I was going to say, well, if anybody knows me, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to test this ejector because
it's hydraulic.
We'll see how well it's built.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to jump out there real quick and just say share this if you can. I know we mentioned it in the first set, but we've during the break we've lost some people, so we want to make sure and get them back in here. Watch the second set; it should be a really good one.
Yeah, share this out. The final. It's on.
Much better break than what was happening in the first set. Great opening shot.
Yeah, a great break from Ray to get started in this second set. And what do we see in the chat about our question? Who has the advantage? And yes, of course, Ramil remembers the scenario where we were in a mini Moscone event at Scratch Billiards, and I played against his team, my team against his team, and we had the hot seat. They beat us hill in the first set, and decided that they didn't want to chop. It was very late at night. They didn't want to do the chop. We offered it, and we played out the second set, and we got them. So yeah, I'm just guessing that the B-side person that wins the first set is the favorite, but I don't know that for sure.
Well, and I've seen a couple comments in there saying that Melissa is the favorite in this one.
Based on how she's playing right now.
I can say that's a based on how she's playing right now. I used, while we jumped off the air a little bit ago during the break, I had explained to Patrick kind of similar circumstance where in the Platinum Finals last year, my team, we won the first set 9-3, and then we ended up losing the second set, like 9-6, 9-7, something like that. So everybody probably has those stories. I think that's about it. Did nothing contact a rail afterwards? I'm about to watch it back. Yeah, same here.
Okay. He's asking, they might actually come back and want to see this again.
It's there.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Nothing hit the rail, right?
The 6 didn't make it to the rail. That is a no rail foul, and they agree. No rail.
Yep. I like it. Surprised they didn't just flip a coin to decide who gets that.
That's only you and Trevor that do that.
I could not believe it. I've never seen or heard of that.
So just so you guys at home know, Josh Anderson and Trevor Second played a match, and they had a hit that was so close. It was like, neither one could really tell whether it was good or bad. And so they said, well, let's just flip a coin and then have that be the call.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, so it didn't seem like it was something we needed watched, but just the angle and the way it came off, we both regretted not having somebody watch it. And, I can't even take credit for it because he said, well, since we both feel like it's so close, it could go either way. Let's flip a coin. And I thought that was weird. I won the flip, and he pushed a cue ball to me, and I honestly kind of felt bad. Because I was like, I've never seen this before.
You both agreed to it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's like it's like agreeing to a chop.
And I can tell you, you asked the same question that everyone's asked me that I've told that story.
Did you win the rack?
Did you win the rack? And I'm not even joking. I cannot remember. I won the match, and that was right. Trevor was struggling, and I got some good rolls there, but I can't remember. So he got ball in hand here, and he's making quick work of this rack. Looking really good. Yeah,
very good after the ball in hand. Let's see if he can keep it going. He has had a couple of late game errors in that last set that he's got to clean up. You cannot miss especially late in the game.
Yeah, and he's a little funny on the 6. I'll be honest with you. This isn't a given. the ball is to give me, but the shape, he's got to make a good, solid decision here.
Yeah, I was going to say you could. That was a great shot. He could have stopped. He just put a stop shot and played the 8 and a side from there. I kind of was looking at that.
Yeah.
Because this one got a little bit wild on him, where it came off the 9. It could have gotten funny. But he came out really good because he's on the correct side of the 8. That's going to get him over to the 9 naturally. Got to watch that scratch. You don't want to overhit this.
Going towards the side pocket, so I'd almost put some inside to kill it. So
yeah.
Scratch. You put a little too much probably.
Yeah, I know why, because I think he was feeling like the natural line was going to take the cue ball towards the side pocket. And in that case, maybe use a little outside and send it past and have a longer 9 ball just to be, safer with it. You don't want this. I'd much rather have the cue ball down table for a longer 9. That's much more manageable than this one. So.
Oh, wow.
So.
Yeah. Here I am thinking, is he going to cut it or is he going to play a safety to that end rail? And then he was like, nope.
He might have been thinking, if he bank it a little short at that right speed and have it come back on the pro side. Yeah. It's just, that was an error, and he had to come back from that error on the position.
Yeah. Well, he left her tough.
Yeah, Melissa doesn't like it, but I think she's going to have to back cut this to the right corner. Do you think?
If she needs to, and then I'm thinking she needs to put a lot of left-hand English on this to make sure she doesn't come down and scratch in the bottom right corner.
I think there's a scratch here on the side, actually, if it goes far enough. Oh, you were thinking bottom right corner, and you were 100% right.
Yeah, and she hit it fat. If she would have hit it thin, she probably wouldn't have scratched. So she was using outside English probably. But, yeah, that looked like a fairly natural scratch to the bottom right. So using some outside, she could have brought it to this right side rail down here by the bottom right corner and missed it. But, she hung the ball.
So I got a chance to talk to Ray and his friends here coming up from the Eugene Springfield area. So Ray, I asked him if he had ever been in a finals before in Lincoln City, and he said once before in 2012. Nice. It was when it was A and B and Master Grandmaster. He was a B player in 2012, and he made it to the final, but he did not win. He came up from the B side and lost his first match in the final. So he has yet to get that coveted championship.
Yeah.
So I know he wants that. It's been 12 years since he's been in the finals of a Lincoln City event. So he's had a lot of opportunities down here.
Yep. I started my first time down here, I want to say, was 2009. And I came as an open A. And I played 8-ball and 9-ball. Not the whole event, but maybe like one of them I'd play the whole event, the other one I'd play like just teams or whatever. But I probably came for a good 8-9 years for both events. And leaving a.
Are we going to look for the 1-9? And I like a safety with cheese, I call it, where you can't really do that. You're on the rail. If it was off the rail and you could draw behind the 4, I really like this 9-ball because then, you really get a two-way out of it. But being that the cue ball's on the rail, I don't believe that the safety is really on you. If you're going to go for this, you have to go 100% all in, as the poker player saying. He did go all in, and he rivered the ace.
Yeah, Ace on the River by Barry Greenstein, right?
Yeah, and quickly, just like that, it's 2-0 Ray in this final.
Yep. A little unfortunate there for that to pan out like that for Melissa. But Ray had to make a good shot, and he did. But yeah, I came down here, I don't know, I probably had 14 or 15 events down here over that stretch. And then I took 4 or 5 years off, and I went to Vegas a bunch, and then I, obviously do other tournaments. But then I've come back the last 2 or 3 years, at least one event a year. I did, this is my second one this year. I did 8-ball this year too. So
yeah, and for a lot of us, it's both, coming here for competition, but also for the social aspect. It's the time of year that we see so many of our friends that we from all over the Northwest that we just don't see until we come to Lincoln City. And then, there's just You know,
Yeah, and for me, I'm from Yakima, um, lived there, played there for years, and then 2015 I moved to Spokane. So I have this Yakima pool family, and then I've got this Spokane pool family now, and then of course I play in tournaments all over the Northwest, so I've got friends from everywhere like we all do. But yeah, there's a lot of friends and family, and
that was
great
creative.
break and a really great safety there.
That was very creative. I was wondering how he was going to get
Shape to the 3.
Yeah, and he thought about it, and he thought, well, shape on the 3 is very hard to get, so the safety is much easier.
Oh, she's kicking 2 rails, yeah. Makes the ball bigger.
2 rails.
Gonna leave him a shot though. Long tester with tough for shape.
Well, I don't know if he can get jacked up. He's off the rail a couple inches. If he can jack up, he might even a stop shot will get you that cut in the side on the 3 ball. Don't you think?
He's got a little angle. He could even go all the way up table and back too. But he's going to jack up and try to draw this.
I think so too. It looks like yes, he is.
You have to hit this so clean. Because if you're off center just a little bit, it'll throw this out.
And he does.
Perfect.
It did roll forward a bit, so this is going to be a little sketchy. You can hit that point of that side pocket real easy and not pocket this 3. You almost have to overcut this. Overcut what you think you need to do. These are really hard to see the line, right, on these side pocket cuts where the ball is really close to the pocket, close to the rail.
Yeah, these are the kind of shots that make me want to get those pool glasses that so many people use.
Yeah.
I have glasses. My eyes are terrible, and I don't wear my glasses when I play.
Yeah.
They get in the way, and with how my eyes are, it's funky. So
okay,
I have a hard time seeing the edge of these balls. So these are – he just played safety again. He's completely changing his game for the second set. So.
Yeah, he did not get there. Maybe it's get a quick lead and then buckle down, and tighten things down. Well, it's sort of like getting a big chip stack in poker, and then you just
kind of sit back and coast. So
yeah,
it's one of those. He could also be having that thing where, after the first set, he could have sat himself down and said, "All right, I was super aggressive," because he was in the first set. He might have sat himself down and said, "I'm going to start making better decisions in the second set."
Yep.
And he didn't get the safety, but it was a controlling safe. Just because he didn't dead hooker doesn't mean that he didn't get a good safety out of it. He had a good table control safety, left her tough. She tried a safe and didn't get it, so now he has a chance. It's a long tester. And he drilled it. Oh, good little nudge. So he's got a little angle. Got a little bit of angle. Let's try this with some outside English, right? What would you do here?
Well, I like draw.
Drawing it?
Yeah, I like to draw this.
Play a little outside and try to come past the 9.
That works too.
Yeah.
We get close to the rail and a little bit straight on the 5. Should be okay.
Yeah, he has the benefit of not having to worry about shape for the 7 if he just rolls this in. Not soft, but just, playing a rolling cue ball instead of punching it. So now he's really got to focus on shape to the 8 because, like we were talking earlier, those late game mistakes, is he going to draw off or is he going to try to just roll forward? Drew off. Great shot. Little stop shot here and should be in a good spot for the 9.
Yeah, looking really good. The safety pays dividends for Ray Lingenfelter. And his strategy of playing a little more conservative looks like it's paying off. 3-0 Ray. And Raw Hanna gave him a nickname earlier, the Death Ray.
The Death Ray, nice.
Yeah, so
he's good with those, I just don't. My nicknames I come up with people probably aren't kosher for.
Yeah, they've got to be PC.
Yeah.
PG. And PC.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
Don't want to offend anybody.
I do a lot of that.
Yeah. Our job as commentators is to stay in the middle.
Yeah.
Stay in the middle. Okay, Melissa with the break. She needs a good one, and she needs to keep that cue ball on the table, and she does.
And she's going to have a good shot here on the 1, too.
And where's the 2 ball going to go? Oh, it's going to roll up. Yeah, but she's got the off angle kind of on the 1 that might drift the cue ball out a bit. That doesn't really give you that 2-9 opportunity. So, yeah. I'd like to say that's the thing, but I don't think so. She's going to draw out, which is the direction that it's going to go anyway.
I was going to say get on the rails. If she'd have stayed off the rails, she would have had an opportunity to clip this 2 and actually carry them off into the 9.
If she could put draw on it. Yeah.
And then that would have been a safety as well if it didn't go. But now she's got to
see what she's got.
She's got to play safe.
And it didn't work.
She's gonna be coming back to the table, probably not liking her shot next.
Yeah.
So what do you do here?
I'm looking, and I think if there's enough room, I don't like coming off of that because it's kind of touchy. It's dicey with that corner pocket as well. If you just don't hit it right, I'm wondering if it's possible if you could hit this 2 around the 4 and up and follow the cue ball to where the cue ball is behind the 4 afterwards. I don't know if he's got the angle. He's going with your shot.
Well, he might just be hitting it soft too, leaving the cue ball on the end rail. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
Yeah, coming off the top of the 2, it just seemed a little sketchy to me.
I like sketchy.
Yeah. Risk and reward, right?
Yeah,
it's, how much risk are you willing to take and how much reward is there if you're successful, right? You have to kind of.
So now how do you hit this one?
I need to take longer to look at it to figure it out because I just don't know. I don't want to do that. I know that, but I don't know what to do.
I would have probably loaded up with a lot of left-hand English, try to hit that 2 and get the 2 to bank out this way, and try to get the cue ball to. Whoops, here man, drawing weird. Get the cue ball to hit the rail here, come this way, and that check English would bring it back towards center this way. That's what I would have probably tried. I probably would have made it way worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but you just don't have a lot of options there.
It was tough. He put down a good safety, and
so he, right here, he's got the angle. He's going to run into the 5 if he tries to just play this straight forward. But if he plays more of a center ball and like a little bit of right and punch it, he can go through that 5-9 window.
Oh, is he jacking up to draw? He's playing another safety here, Josh. He's going to get behind the 4 or try to. He's hit that way too hard, and it's going to sit by the side pocket. And does she have the window? That's the question.
If she does,
I think she does.
Yeah.
I think she's got this window to the ball.
She might have to swerve a little.
It's going to be close. Like if you put a ball in there on that line, I think it's going to be close. But I think it's available. Yeah, it's close. She's got to get down to look. And even if he requires just a little bit of spin to kind of swerve the ball over, that's okay. But I think it's okay. Yeah, she didn't need to do much. She had it. And the 7 ball is still an issue. So it's not going to be, a guaranteed out or anything like that. Now that she's kind of out there, it's all about getting on the 4 and then figuring out the 7. But you got to have a plan for that 7-8 situation. But right now, it's got to be all about getting on the 4 because that's really difficult. She might actually bump the 7 on the way in and loosen it, and just like that, bumps the 7, gets perfect on the 4. That was
money.
Melissa Rushton trying to make a comeback.
Now I'm jealous. You hit the button. I know what that's the red one, right?
The one at the top?
Yeah,
the top left.
Now I know what that one is.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn them, Patrick.
You know that one's not eject. Then
I'm safe with that one. Man, what a great shot. Not just for shape, but that one little nick.
Yeah, she solved 2 problems. She got on the 4 and solved the 7 ball problem.
Go around the 5.
Yeah.
May needed a little bit more right-hand English.
Yeah, work is not done yet.
No. So, do you just shoot and stun this? I mean, you got to focus on the 5. So many people think about that 9 ball, stun over, run into the 9 to stop the cue ball there.
I don't like it.
But
I was
going to say.
Okay, going around the 8 would have been great had she just gotten another 2 feet of roll out of that. I do believe that the 7 plays by the 8 in the bottom right corner, but now it goes in the side, and she's got really one good shot to get out of this rack. If she pockets this 7, I think with draw, she's going to pocket the 7 in the side, draw the cue ball off this rail, and back up this way for the 8. That's what I think she's going to do. We saw her do one of those shots earlier in
5,
the last rack, I think it was, and she executed it really nicely.
Or she can level out instead of putting draw with some right-hand English and have the cue ball come like this.
And she tried to play the safety, and it was not successful.
A little bit of a controlling safety. I mean, they can see the 7. Ray can see the 7, but it's not easy to pocket. But she definitely didn't want to give him an opportunity here.
Yeah. On that safety, I didn't like it unless you could hit the 9 with the cue ball. And I don't know that she had the angle to really run the cue ball into the 9 because she needed something to stop the cue ball. Because the 7 had to get to the rail, right? So she couldn't have hit that softer.
Yeah.
It would have been a foul.
Well, now what's he going to put on this ball to avoid coming across and scratching? He should be able to go past the side pretty easy, but it comes into play. Only hit it soft.
Okay.
I don't like hitting them soft.
I don't either.
And he left her a shot. You got to stroke those ones in. You got to. Anytime you hit the ball soft, you're taking a lot of that induced throw from the cut, from the table. These tables are dirty. The balls are dirty.
The skids, you get funny things that happen. Yeah. And not to mention, the slower your stroke is, the more exaggerated every little error is in your motion, right? So any movement in your stroke motion is exaggerated on a slow stroke.
Yeah, and as far as mentioning the tables and everything being dirty, Trevor, when him and I started our match, another thing he did that I liked was we lagged, and before he racked the first rack, he cleaned every ball, cue ball, cleaned everything up, and that was the best the balls played. So every match I had after that, I cleaned the balls at the beginning of every single match, and instantly my breaks were better, everything was better. I don't ever do that down here. And, think about all the people that touch the balls and all the oils and everything, and get them cleaned up.
Maybe I should bring my Roomba and just put the Roomba on the table and say, give me 5 minutes for the Roomba to do its thing, and then we'll start our match. And
so when you walk up and say, can I have a few minutes of table time to get ready for the match? And your table time is
put the Roomba up there. And then you got your bucket polisher down. It's just running.
She changed sides and almost scratched.
And the one ball blocked.
Over here,
so Ray with a good break, but no look at the 1. And what are you doing? Are you going to push out, or are you going to attempt a 1 rail kick? I don't think you're going to do a jump shot, of course, because that's just kind of silly. But the 1 rail kick is there. I do kind of like that.
And if you hit it thick, it'll go off the end rail and come back towards the side rail and not really leave much, unless you hit it hard.
Yeah, you gotta just miss that point. Yeah,
hit it thin.
I honestly, now that he hit that, I think that the side pocket was really in the way of where he wanted to kick, the optimal angle to pocket the ball. But that was containing anyway. Is that better than a push out? Probably.
I mean, the problem with that is where are you pushing to?
Exactly.
Without leaving them an easy safety back or an offensive shot.
Exactly. Yeah.
And anytime you're pushing, it's automatically putting it in your opponent's hands, and they immediately have the edge because they get to make the decision on whether they take it or give it back. So
right.
I hate playing safe or playing the rollouts. Obviously, you have to sometimes. I hate it when an opponent pushes to a jump shot. I jump pretty good, but I have a hard time taking on a jump shot unless it's like 100% reward, everything's easy and everything. But then I play people that jump really well, and it's like, gosh, can I really afford to give this back?
Was any rail contacted on that one?
Nope. It was a bad hit. Let's see what they discuss, if they realize it. Yeah.
And they're discussing it, and yeah, I watched, and that one did not make it to the rail. Give me a close up. The 8-ball didn't either. It was the one that got the closest to the rail.
Neither one of them did.
Yeah, they both got close, and you know they're not sure. I think they're kind of talking about it, and you know, I don't mind if players want to come back to the booth and say, "Hey, can I get a YouTube?" You know, I'm not going to make a call, of course, because I'm not. Yeah, I'm not making any kind of decisions, but I'll show them, you know, the video, and then they can decide if they want to make a decision that they can come to an agreement on. But the ref will never come here and watch it. The refs are not allowed to watch video replay to make a call.
Yeah.
They have to make a call in the live. So we might actually have that happen where the players want to take a look at it. Of course, they have their phones too. You know,
they could look at it.
They could just, you know, scan the QR code on the tablet and go right to the stream, and
I'm curious.
Go right back to it.
Doing.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
I would be, because look at how close that one ball is to the rail, and at the end of the shot, it's like, well, do we really know? You know, and sometimes you're looking at something else. Your eye went away, and okay, so what did we decide here? Ball in hand. Okay, so I think they did. I think they probably watched it on their phone. That's the beauty of video, is you can get those calls right, because both players want to get it right. You know, nobody's trying to, get away with something, but it's just sometimes you're looking away, your eye might just look at something else, and you didn't know if the one hit the rail or not, and it's better to be sure.
Yeah.
It's important.
And one fault I have, or one thing that I do that I probably shouldn't do, is unless, like, if I'm shooting and I foul, if I don't know it, like if I don't see it, and I had this happen in a match, I didn't see, and even Trevor had mentioned, man, it literally, the ball you clipped just barely wiggled. If I don't see it and they say that it was a foul, I almost always default to them. I rarely say, well, no, I don't think that was a foul. I'm like, if you think it's a foul, take it. Probably shouldn't always do that. I probably get taken advantage of sometimes.
Oh boy,
poor positional shot.
Yeah, that was an error. He's just getting right down on this.
He did.
Okay, so that's different from, it's amazing how much time he took on the ball in hand, and then when he was in trouble and he really needed to take a lot of time to figure something out, he just kind of took a swing there. Right?
How much of that was just
frustration?
Yeah.
All of it. All of it. 100%. Yeah.
I've never been there.
Right. Just take a swing. Yeah. The 9-ball might move, and I'm just whack it.
Yeah. Oh, good stroke there.
Yeah, Melissa needs to take full advantage.
Yeah.
This is a pivotal rack here.
Did she get enough angle on this to be able to get shape over to the 4, or is she going to have to do something funky here?
It's hard to tell, but, if you hit it, I think, with just a little bit of top, it's like you'll get that sort of bounce off of it and catch that rail and move it over to the 4. But, yeah, it was really one where you had to hammer it hard into the pocket to get that stun off the ball, so it kind of moves that cue ball over further. But that was a very tough shot. We'll see. Is it frozen? We don't know.
So I'm gonna thin this ball and just bring the cue ball straight back down table.
Yeah, that's what Ray likes too. I can tell from what he's doing here. He likes that because it's going to just tuck underneath the 4. Ideally, anyway, it will tuck underneath the 4.
Hit it kind of hard.
So he hit it hard to go 2 rails with the cue ball, and that's not bad. That's good separation. I think getting more focus on having it be behind the 4 is more important than, getting the cue ball all the way down table, but maybe not.
Yeah.
This is incredibly tough for Melissa to, even if she pockets this, to have anything going afterwards on the 4.
So she's going to play safe.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. And she's just playing a contained safety,
That's actually not bad. And this one, I like, if I could, I think I'm just going to try to clip off this and bring that cue ball back to try to bring it underneath the 4. What do you think? Or do you like putting the 3 ball under the 4?
I like distance.
And sending the cue ball the other way. Maybe that's better, actually, now that I look at it.
Yeah, I like doing that for distance because, like right here, if he doesn't get that perfect under that 4, she's going to have a pretty good shot.
Oh, but he did.
But,
almost leaked out, but he got good.
Yeah, but he got a little fortunate clips there because he ended up clipping that 4 a couple times to be able to get there.
Okay,
she shot at it fast and ended up giving ball in hand. So.
She got right down on that shot immediately, and I think that.
Try to get shape down in here. I mean, preferably straight on, but
yeah. Okay.
Now I play this with some angle so that I come off the side rail because I don't want to just try to soft roll into my window. You're coming across your shape line, and I want to be able to stroke the ball so that I don't have to go towards the pocket. And Ray's like, I'm just going to hit it perfect. I don't know why these commentators are drawing weird lines, but
yeah, no, he's in good shape here. Seeing where he wants to be. He likes the 6 in the side. I don't mind it either if you can get the right.
It's far enough off the rail that it's not going to be too tight of a pocket.
Yeah, and the 8 lays in a pretty good spot too. Looks like he has a little angle on the 5. And this is one of those shots, don't try to cheat the pocket so you get perfect, right? How many times have we done this and try to cheat the pocket to get a little closer to it? And it's like, I didn't need to do that. Yeah. I can hit that 6 from anywhere, Yeah. And, sort of unnecessary kind of thing, but he hit it good.
Wants to come off and...
Oh.
Man, he was pretty straight on that. I didn't realize how straight he was.
Yeah, this is going to be running into the 9, isn't it?
Yeah. If he hits it full with some outside English, he can miss the 9 or just barely clip the 9 and he'll be okay. Other than that, he probably needs to just... I mean, even if he puts like a little... I don't know. I would probably hit this with...
You think he can get to the other side of the 9 from this position? Or are you talking about hitting this side of the 9?
No, I think if he hits that full with left-hand English, he can get past the 9 or just barely clip the right side of the 9.
Really?
Yeah.
God, it doesn't look like that to me, but maybe okay.
Man, he hit that kind of hard, but he's still got a manageable shot here. Move the chalk, move the rack. Oh, don't shoot it straight into the chalk, Ray. Drilled it.
And Ray drills that one.
Takes a 4-1 lead.
And that was a pivotal rack. To either go 3-2 or 4-1. Pretty big deal.
So I seen somebody in the chat earlier said that Ray always dresses for success, and I see Joel Peck is saying Ray the Vest representing EVBCA. So
what's EVBCA?
So Eugene Valley BCA. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no clue. But I was going to ask Joel: is this his common attire, or is this what he dresses to league and everything else in as well?
I don't know.
Or is this a new nickname you're coming up with for him?
Is EVBC, but Eugene Valley, it's the Willamette Valley.
Yeah,
it would be the WVBCA.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that area, unfortunately.
All right. Joel, help us out. What does EVBCA stand for? Yeah, we mentioned that, Joel, as his last finals match in Lincoln City was 2012 in the B side, and he was a B player.
Emerald Valley BCA.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's the BCA League down there in the Eugene Springfield area, is the Emerald Valley BCA. Okay, got it. And I know Rose City BCA is Salem. I know that one. And some of the others, but I'm pretty much just familiar with the names of the leagues in Washington, where I play.
Same here.
We have one of the largest, which is the Players Club Limited. It's not the one I'm out of, but I did play out of that league for a year.
Now, is that the one that's got a bunch of different areas tied in together?
Yeah. They even have some Canadian divisions of the Players Club Limited.
Look at this shot. He underhit
Look
it, maybe.
at that.
Just a little underhit.
Just a hair.
Bad. It's a good shot.
Yeah.
Ray came to play in the second set, folks.
Yeah, great shot. Ray the Vest.
Yeah.
Lingenfelter. Well, it's working. Why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep. And he's going to leave a shot here, but once again, containing safeties, this is a pretty natural shot. And, she's favored to make this, but at the same time, she hasn't had a lot of really good chances in the last few games for open shots and open tables,
Yeah, Ray's turning it on in the second set. And she's overcut that too.
Always dresses to impress.
Yeah, we were talking about that too, Joel, the sort of the mental side of dressing nicely and having that maybe make you feel more successful, right? When you're going in, if it helps you and you're but I'm talking to Joel, who plays with no shirt on, so whatever makes you feel more confident with your game, right?
Yeah. Hey, everybody's different. One man's trash, another one's treasure,
Right.
So.
Did you happen to catch the Banks game that he played on the PNW pool thing live stream against Mike D, and he's shirtless for half the match?
No, I heard about it, though.
Most of the chat was just talking about, they weren't talking about the game. They were just talking about him playing with no shirt on. So
he used to teach a billiards class at the University of Oregon. Well, what he's done here is he's the first set, he seemed to be playing very aggressive. From my perspective, very aggressive, wasn't doing a whole lot of table control when he was out of line and stuff. And then the second set, he's completely reversed that. And I think he just realized that he needed to kind of do that. So we're seeing that he has the knowledge. He has the knowledge, and he's got some of that execution going in this second set.
Yeah, but right now, Melissa Rushton looking to charge back into this thing.
I want to get a back angle on this 7 ball so that I can. Yeah, see, I wanted a back angle there because I want to come like this for shape to the 8.
Okay.
It's natural. See, right now she's going to have something to have to force it. So I would have tried to punch off, and I would have tried to get like more in this area here. So something easy, natural.
Yeah. So now she really has to force it, right? Because she didn't give herself an angle. Let's see what she's got. She's going forward. I wonder if the 8 plays by the 9. I guess it must. If she's playing that direction, it tells me that the 8 does play by the 9.
But with how she got this angle, does she play a safety here?
Yeah, safety is really dicey, man. I mean, that's a really dicey safe.
Yeah, she's going for it. Yeah. She's going to punch it and come back around table.
I like going for it here, too. And a beautiful shot from Melissa. She's got to bring it one more time with the 9 ball, and she knows this is crucial right here. This shot could either be 4-2 or 5-1, and you do not want to be on the underside of the 5-1 score in a race to 7. So big shot here, and she drills it.
Nice.
Great out from Melissa. Racks up her second win of the match. And so I see that Joel says that Ray used to teach a billiard class at the University of Oregon. I heard Tony Bloom, when I was talking to him, he said he actually, I think, did some classes. I think he said that down there. Anyway, University of Oregon has the EMU, which is a little community center. And as a kid, that's where I learned how to play pool. So they got a bowling alley in there, and they got I think I remember in like video games, arcade, but it was pool table and bowling alley now for sure. And we used to go because it was like $1, to go in or whatever and play all you wanted. I think and this was back in the '80s. I'm talking about like 1980.
Hey, don't age yourself here.
Yeah, well, I don't care.
We'll just say this is when you were younger.
Yeah, it was probably mid to late '80s. I was a little kid, probably 12. From like 12 to 15 years old, we used to go in all the time, and I think that's kind of what got me hooked. And then I didn't play until I got into the bars. But when I got into bars, old enough to go into bars, I was like, yeah, I remember how to play, So I was already a little bit of an edge there, and I got better kind of quickly. And
what's weird is I didn't start playing pool until I was 25. So 2006, 2007, somewhere in there, I think, because I was born in '81.
Okay.
So I never played. And then, when I was old enough to go in the bars and stuff, we'd go out. And I had friends that played pool league. I had friends that, played a lot of pool. And I was never that guy. I just hang out and watch and do other things. And poker was always my thing from when I was a young kid on. My family, a lot of family are into that. But I hear so many people that have all this experience from when they were kids. And I'm always kind of jealous of it.
Yeah, it's kind of where it starts a lot of times as kids, either in the basement or whatever, and playing the game. So Aaron Moss came over and performed the rackectomy and got the rack off the table. And now Ray with a real stretch shot here.
Keep it simple. Just roll into the 5.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Joel says hill, he thinks. That would be exciting. Rack.
Is this the 4 ball or the 8 ball down here?
This is the 4 ball down there. 8 ball is off the table.
Oh, he overcut it. Left her tough. So she might be trying to play back behind this set of balls over here.
Yeah, this is a pretty simple safety, I think. Should be no problem to come off. Yeah, come off 2 rails and around the stack. It's all speed. Get there. Don't get the window. Okay. How many times, right, have we done that? And there's a stack of balls, and there's only enough of a window to get the cue ball through, and you happen to actually put it. It's like 100 to 1 that you would get it. And
if
of course,
you try to, you can't. But
no,
you can sure fall into it on accident.
Of course not. But he didn't hit the window. He got a good, or she got a good stick on that.
Yeah.
And it's going to force a 2-rail kick on the 2.
Yeah, he looks almost like he's. Oh yeah, he's kicking 2 rails. It almost looks like he's kicking 1 rail, but.
Okay.
Well, 4 rails.
On the way
Never
back.
Mind.
On the way back, he
what
gets
were we
it.
Thinking?
What if that ball went? Oh my God, that would have been so sick.
I've seen somebody's head explode over there.
Joel would have liked that one.
Right.
How about that bank shot?
Yeah.
Kick shot. The 4-rail kick.
The 4-rail kick, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she tried to hit that a little thick, and it was English to get out for the 3. But I like just hitting center ball and just thinning that ball in and coming on this side of the stack so that she makes sure it pockets it. Because it wasn't a give me, it was kind of over a little bit.
Yeah, that's tough. So Ray, don't know that he has a direct look, but he might be able to masse a little bit. Yeah, or a lot of masse, it looks like.
Yeah,
that's the problem. You have to hit the edge of the ball. You cannot come full into that ball. It will follow it right into the pocket. So,
yeah, I felt like I was surprised. I didn't think he needed to masse that much just to catch this bottom side of the 2, because he definitely didn't want to hit the 2 full. Yeah, man, that was tough. So now what do you do for shape?
Yeah, so she's taking a real close look at this. She's trying to plan this pattern out because it's not just – there's a lot of problems here.
Yep. I mean, I'm coming this direction for the 4. Can't see it, but I want to stay – I tell you, it's kind of funny, but I'm going to be doing the same thing. I want to stay top side of the 4 and then do the exact reverse on the 4 ball and go the opposite way around. You're going to have to do a lot of movement, but that 6 ball now, does it even go?
Yeah, the 4 to the 5 is really, gosh, man, there's so much going on. So a missed shot with ball in hand never feels good, and that one doesn't at all. she got good on the 4 to get up to the 5. Anywhere down there with that angle was pretty good. So good attempt from Melissa. I understand what she's trying to do there.
He's drawing this ball.
Yeah, he's going to end up hitting the 5, right? No.
No, he's trying to draw straight out.
And he's drawn to a blocked shot.
Yeah.
And we got drama.
Yeah. And you know what? This, I don't know if he can see the edge of it. Yeah, he can see the edge, apparently. He's getting down to hit it. Well, maybe he thought better of it. Because if he kicks at this side rail at it and catches the top side, he's going to open that 6-9. I'm not sure a whole lot comes out of that good for him.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. If you're going to hit it soft or fire at it. He hit it pretty good, though.
Okay. So Melissa, last time at the table, missed with ball in hand, and now she's faced with a straight-in 4 ball. It's very unfortunate that she has this shot with absolutely almost no angle. Yeah. And she's got to get down to the 5. So if she has a slight angle, she can go forward, and catch the side rail and come back out. The problem here, though, is not only the 4 to the 5, but it's also the 6 ball.
Yeah.
I don't think the 6 ball plays to any hole at all.
What do you think about rolling the 4 and playing safe off the 5?
I don't know. Uh-oh.
Oh, she's just playing safe off the 4.
See if I can get that back.
Yeah, because I was thinking you roll the 4 in a little further than where she is now, and then you thin the right side of that 5 ball,